Hello everybody, and my name is Narendra Kumar and we are from Narendra Academy. Last class we saw boiling, liquid becoming gas. Now we'll see solid becoming liquid. How does solid become liquid? That's called, we know that, melting. A solid becoming liquid. What a wonderful process in nature that is. So we'll use this textbook, SSC AP, the #1 textbook, I would say on par with the greatest textbooks ever written, because it comes down to the level of the Indian student, breaks it into parts and communicates the power, the concept, deep concepts of physics. So we're using this textbook. We are the bridge between this textbook and you. Activity 11. So this is activity 11, melting. Activity 11. Take small ice cubes in a beaker. Insert the thermometer into ice cubes in the beaker. Observe the reading of the thermometer. Now start heating the beaker, keeping it on a burner. Observe changes in the thermometer reading every 1 minute till the ice completely melts and gets converted into water. What changes do you notice in the reading of the thermometer as time passes by? Does the temperature of ice change during the process of melting? You will observe that the temperature of the ice at the beginning is equal to or below 0 degrees centigrade. If the temperature of ice is below 0 degrees centigrade, it goes on changing till it reaches 0 degrees centigrade. When ice starts melting, you will notice this is very interesting. Same thing like boiling. Till then nothing happened, but once boiling point is reached, heat is supplied, evaporation, the boiling starts taking place and no temperature rises happens. Same thing here. If the temperature of ice is below 0 degrees centigrade, it goes on changing till it reaches 0 degrees centigrade. But when ice starts melting, you will notice that no change in temperature is there, though you are supplying heat continuously. You are supplying heat, temperature is not rising. Why does this happen? The heat energy supplied to the ice increases the internal energy of the molecules of the ice. It's going for that. This increase in internal energy of molecules weakens the bonds as well as breaks the bonds between the molecules, H2O in the ice. That is why the ice in solid phase becomes water in liquid phase. This process takes place at a constant temperature, 0 degrees centigrade or 273 Kelvin. This temperature is called the melting point. This process of converting solid into liquid is called melting. The temperature of the ice does not change during melting because the heat energy given to the ice is totally utilized in breaking the bonds between the water molecules. So the energy is going to break the bonds, not to move it. The process in which solid phase changes to liquid phase at a constant temperature is called melting. What a lovely definition. This constant temperature is also called the melting point. How much heat energy is required to convert 1 gram of ice to liquid? The heat energy required to convert 1 gram of solid completely to liquid is obviously called latent heat. But here the name is latent heat of fusion. Consider a solid of mass m. Let heat energy Q be required to change it from the solid phase to liquid phase. Then obviously the heat required for m is this Q, for 1 it is Q by m. Latent heat of fusion L is equal to Q by m. The value of latent heat of fusion of ice, it requires for 1 gram 80 calories to become water. Now we'll go to the next topic, freezing. Now only we'll go freezing. After melting we'll go to freezing. What is freezing? The reverse process, isn't it? The liquid becoming solid. So that is the next topic. You might have observed coconut of oil and ghee getting converted from liquid state to solid state during winter season. We have seen that. What could be the reason for this change? What happens to water kept in a refrigerator? It becomes ice. How does it get converted from liquid to solid phase? We know that the water that is kept in a refrigerator converts to solid ice. You know that initial temperature of water is more compared to the temperature of ice. It means that during the process of conversion from liquid to solid, the internal energy of the water has to decrease so that it becomes solid ice. Simple. Again, internal energy decreases, it becomes ice. The bonds become strong. This process is called freezing. The process in which a substance in liquid phase changes to solid phase by losing some of its energy. Losing its energy, internal energy, is called freezing. Simple. Freezing of water takes place at 0 degree temperature and at 1 atmospheric pressure. Are the volumes of water and ice formed? Now we come to a very profound question. It is called the funny nature of water. Really, it's a very funny point. Are the volume, remember what is volume, you know, volumes of water and ice formed with same amount of water equal? I think I better write this. Are the volumes of water and ice, that's what he's asking. Are the volumes of water and ice formed with same amount of water equal? Are the volumes of water and ice formed by same amount of water equal? What is equal here? Volume. Are the volumes equal that are formed from the same amount of water and ice? Let us do, this is activity, small activity 12, activity 12. Take small glass bottle with a tight lid, fill it with water completely without any gaps and fix the lid tightly in such a way that water does not come out of it. Put the bottle into a deep freezer. Take it out from the freezer and you will observe that the glass bottle breaks. It's a very interesting activity. Why did the glass bottle break? We know that the volume of water poured into the glass bottle is equal to the volume of the bottle. When the water freezes to ice, the bottle is broken, which means the volume of the ice should be greater than the volume of the water filled in the bottle. What an interesting point. In short, we say, listen carefully, we say that water expands on freezing. Increases in volume, really. There's a reason, deep reason for it, which you will know in the higher classes. But what do we know from observation? When it is becoming ice, water is increasing its volume, not mass, it's increasing its volume. Thus, the density of ice, since volume is more, density is less. Density is mass by volume. The density of ice is less than that of water, and that is why ice floats on water. Ice floats on water. So, if something becomes ice, it comes up and floats there in water. That's a profound point. It has got many applications which we will see later. And that completes this wonderful chapter of heat. We learned about heat and temperature. We learned about specific heat. We learned about method of mixtures when you mix it. We learned about how to find the specific heat of a solid, the lead shots. We understood evaporation deeply. We understood condensation. We understood boiling. We understood melting, freezing, and this expansion of increase of volume of ice than water for the same amount. That is a beautiful chapter. See, because we understood in terms of concepts, the whole chapter is in my mind. I don't have to memorize. I can read the textbook again. What I suggest, dear students of 10th class and all the students in the world who want to know physics, read this textbook. The text is given in our website also. Read the text once, twice, thrice. Deeply think about this whole concepts, and your eyes will be open to the concept of heat. You will see heat everywhere. You will see the phenomenon everywhere. This is the full knowledge of the fundamentals, basics of heat. Thank you so much. This is Narendra Kumar. I really enjoyed teaching all of you, at least giving my best to communicate the concepts written in this wonderful textbook, which is the prescribed textbook for 10th class AP SSC.